bringing you news and information from around the Pacific Command. This is your AFN Pacific Report.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of AFN Pacific Report. I'm Senior Airman Therese Garnier. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel says the department's commitment to military families and to quality education for military children is a strategic imperative that leaders will maintain. Hagel made that point on Tuesday during closing remarks of the Military Child Education Coalition's 15th National Training Seminar in Washington. A retired soldier in Korea is helping train the newest generation of soldiers on the peninsula how to employ the command post of the future.
But they have all the functionality up here in the top.
So I've been teaching for almost 10 years now, and I really like it. It's a great job. I don't think I would like to do anything else.
Is he doing a good job?
He's doing an excellent job. I mean, he dumbs it down for us.
Dean Burnell retired 5 years ago. If it wasn't for the new uniform, you'd never tell.
It feels like I never left the Army. It's almost like I retired and I still kept going.
Now he finds himself serving in a classroom, saving lives from a different angle.
He's been teaching us basically the fundamentals of CPOF altogether. I mean, down to the very, very basics of minimizing and regaining all of our lost items that are never really lost because they're always on the database.
CPOF, or Command Post of the Future, teaches warfighters how to securely send and receive data in a mission control setting.
The benefits we see translates to faster information flow. Being able to use these systems effectively allows us to give our commanders that information so they can make those decisions that will hopefully affect the outcome of a battle or a situation positively.
Time is a factor. I mean, to get the information in real time or near real time data capability is important. I mean, we have to be able to react as quickly as possible, and this ABCS system is going to do it.
Using these systems help advance the military's future, and these systems are impacting each and every warfighter.
Before Command Post of the Future came about, we had to go outside the wire to move information around. And I think General Thurman said it best, these systems are saving lives.
Senior Airman James Bueller, Yongsan, Korea.
We stay on the peninsula and head to Kunsan, where security force members practice the application of force in a variety of situations.
Defenders of Kunsan Air Base took to the munitions compound to practice their force-on-force training. They used many different active shooter scenarios to accomplish their mission.
We were just doing an active shooter exercise, going straight to there's a few people in there shooting some hostages, and we were trying to get to that threat and take them out.
Even though this is hard work, these Vigilant Security Forces members embrace on-the-job training.
It's a lot of fun to do this. It's a lot better than sitting around just learning it through a book, but hands-on is definitely the way to go.
They are also aware of how important the training is.
Yes, definitely. Just the practice makes it perfect. So.
Staff Sergeant Christopher Kingen, Kunsan Air Base, Korea.
Fleet logistics sailors at Yokosuka are learning how to use a new computer management system that helps them perform their mission more effectively and efficiently.
Yokosuka's Navy Supply Fleet Logistics Center manages about 50% of the Navy's fuel in the Pacific region. To better control this mission-essential asset and others like it, FLC workers are being trained to use a new computer management system.
Well, we're having our Maximo training, and Maximo is our system that we use to track our workload and our maintenance, mostly our maintenance, but it's a whole array of items that we use in management. And it's got a couple purposes. One is to maintain accountability of our systems and make sure that we're doing things in a cost-effective way. And our effort today is really to standardize the approach across all of our work sites.
NAVSUB FLC Yokosuka's vision is to know the warfighter's needs and create the most effective logistic solutions to meet those needs. They hope that this vision will be met more efficiently with the use of the Maximo program. Petty Officer Shamira Purifoy, Yokosuka Naval Base, Japan.
In the Navy, every harbor patrol boat is commanded by a coxswain, and they are responsible for everyone on their craft. Seaman Andrew Dean went out with Sasebo's Harbor Patrol to find out what being a coxswain is all about.
A naval base depends on its harbor security to keep dock ships safe, and coxswains on their small boats play a major role. But before anything, it's important to understand what a coxswain is.
We tell the crew what to do, We're in charge of everyone on the boat, and we're in charge of where the boat goes and how it does.
These sailors from Fleet Activity Sasebo are trained to help keep the base safe.
As a coxswain, we're trained to help pull people out of the water. We do this by man overboard drills. So if someone happened to fall in the water from a crew or just anybody that was on the vessel at the time, we could swing around and pick them up within the allotted time. We also are trained to help protect the assets.
The second thing to know is that there is more than one level of coxswain training.
The difference between a level 1 coxswain and a level 2 coxswain is they have more tactical experience with escorting vessels.
Level 2 coxswain is teaches you how to operate in a confined space and teaches you how to operate at high speeds. I'm about to go to school to learn advanced coxswain techniques. I will be able to come back and my shipmates will ask me questions about how they can get better on the water, how can they operate the boat and advance their skills.
On top of being able to advance the knowledge of his shipmates when he returns, LeCure is also advancing himself professionally.
Knowledge is always good in my career, so I think that taking this forward makes me competitive with the rate.
These coxswains hold a lot of responsibility out on the water, and additional training on how to protect Sasebo's ships at port is never a bad thing.
Warship 6, Phantom 1, we've reached the end of today's evolution. JCG will escort you the rest of the way. Have a nice day.
Seaman Andrew Dean, Fleet Activity Sasebo, Japan.
Coming up, a Hollywood star takes the stage at Yokota. But first, let's take a look around the Pacific Command in today's Snapshots.
A U.S. Air Force F-16 sits on the runway at Chitose Air Base as a Japanese Air Self-Defense Force aircraft passes by during a bilateral training event. Service members compete in the 4th annual U.S. Army-Japan Combatives Tournament at Camp Zama. U.S. sailors perform a dental exam on a patient during Pacific Partnership 2013 in the Marshall Islands. And that's a look around the Pacific Command in today's Snapshots.
Last week, the actor and musician Gary Sinise took his band on their first tour of military installations in Japan. The USO-sponsored Swing Through the Land of the Rising Sun included a 4th of July show at Yokota Air Base.
Gary Sinise and his cover band travel around the world entertaining military audiences, and the 4th of July usually finds the band in front of the troops.
Well, we've been all over the world supporting the troops, doing what we can to play for y'all in like the last decade, so we eventually will catch up to you. I think the last 6 or 7 years we've played for the troops on the 4th of July, so this is very special. It's special to be here with you today.
The band played songs from a wide array of contemporary artists such as Rascal Flatts, Bruno Mars, and Mariah Carey. Security Forces member Airman Adam Grenada was on duty for the event, but that didn't diminish his appreciation.
It's just an amazing feeling knowing that somebody out there, you know, who has so much time that they could do other things, come out for us.
Lieutenant Dan invites children from the crowd to help sing with the band, and with that, Gary Sinise leaves the crowd with what is perhaps the most famous quote from the movie Forrest Gump.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Petty Officer Stephen Jackson, Yokota Air Base, Japan.
Fishing is traditionally regarded as a stress-free way to relax and enjoy time with friends and family. So imagine how nice your work week would be if fishing was your job. Lance Corporal Wesley Cole introduces us to a man who may have the best job on Okinawa.
Imagine if this was your average day, racing across these silver swells past the Karamas in search of the big one. Now, while the Sam's Cup isn't an everyday occurrence for Rodney Callahan, his daily outlook isn't too far off. Rodney owns Salty Rod Fishing, a charter fishing group, and for him, the average day is just as exciting as an annual tournament, even if he doesn't make his catch.
Today was a kind of a slow day. We got out there first in the morning, tried and tried, gave it all we got, but it's fishing. If it was catching, everybody would be doing it.
While Rodney is lucky to have a job like his, luck hasn't always been on his side.
Yeah, I was in the Air Force for 6 years. I was medically separated in 2010 due to a heart condition. I ended up moving back here 3 years ago, and I started fishing for fun, and started booking trips for my buddies, and it kind of got really big, doing charters for all the military guys and their families here.
Now that he's doing what he loves, Rodney's not going to stop, even if the fish aren't biting. Lance Corporal Wesley Cole, Okinawa, Japan.
The United States military has historically served at the forefront of societal change. Two examples of that are race and gender equality. Now, thanks to some sweeping changes that have taken place within the DoD and courts of America, we can add sexual orientation and marriage equality to that list. One airman in Korea talks about what those changes mean to him.
My name is Sean Barrett. I am an aerospace ground equipment technician. I've been in for 10 years, currently assigned to the 5th RS over at Osan. I joined the military right out of high school, so I was still a kid when I joined and I didn't understand life, you know, just discovered who I was when I was under Donuts Hotel. At first it was sort of like I'm an undercover agent, living a double lifestyle. I would say that it mostly affected me socially. I wasn't able to interact with my coworkers outside of work because, you know, I didn't enjoy myself so much because I couldn't be honest with them. And it's very hard to make friends when you can't be 100% honest with them. I have to say that the biggest change that I've seen in the military since I've been in is the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Definitely would say I have a lot more pride in what I do and where I work because I don't have to hide it anymore, who I am, you know. I don't have to be fearful of repression, so hopefully they continue with same-sex benefits. I'm pretty sure the military will institute the new policy changes pretty rapidly because they have so far. The military's done a lot for me. They're doing a lot, so, and I appreciate it. A lot of us do.
That's it for this newscast. From all of us here at AFM Pacific, thanks for watching.